The Hyperion, or Necron Blades in general, are top-tier weapons in Hypixel Skyblock. There's just one tiny aspect about these weapons that sucks. I don't get to use any of them until I meet a specific requirement that is tied to playing dungeons. And this is a problem because, as you can see by my incredibly high Catacombs level, I've never even entered a dungeon. So, to use my Hyperion, I have to beat 7 different floors. Said floors are filled with countless monsters, traps, and puzzle rooms. On top of that, each of the 7 floors contains its unique and powerful boss. But I didn't come here unprepared. I got myself a Plasma Flux Power Orb, which I can't use, my Hyperion, which I also can't use, and last but not least my sheep pet. Let's call him Jeffrey. Jeff, you and I are going to commit zombie genocide. Also, this got me thinking, why aren't there name tags for pets? If any developer is watching this, please make pet names customizable. It's a simple feature and I think it will bring a lot of joy to the Skyblock community. I mean, customization in video games is always fun. Anyway, back to dungeons. Since little Jeffrey here is the only part of my setup that I can actually use, I decided to call up some friends to support me on my journey to conquer the Catacombs. Before we could take on the first boss, we had to play the entrance. Now, this is not an actual floor, it doesn't have a boss, it's more like a tutorial. I decided to play as an archer, to keep my distance from the danger while dealing some extra damage. This worked out great against melee enemies. I could kite them while dealing a fabulous amount of 1.8k damage per hit. But when it came to fighting skeletons, I failed miserably and died in the tutorial mode. It didn't matter though, because seconds later we completed the entrance through the power of friendship. Without wasting any time, we headed straight to floor 1, where I encountered my greatest foe yet. A lost adventurer with nearly 500,000 HP. What? How dare you to hide from my... Ah! There you go, get nuked! With him out of the way, we entered the boss room. This first boss is called Bozo the Bonzo, or Bonzo the... or whatever, the clown. The boss fight has 2 phases. In the first phase, he just runs around spawning zombies that attack you. Yeah, nothing special about that. But in the second phase, oh boy! Bonzo transforms into his clown form, where he wiggles his stick and shoots balloons in all directions. You then have to recruit monkey soldiers to pop the balloons. Wait. That's a different game. Anyway, Bonzo met the same fate as the lost adventurer, getting nuked out of existence. Before proceeding to the next floor, I decided to give my Hyperion to one of my friends, since, unlike me, he can use it, which will speed up this whole dungeon grind. This is like the most scuffed trait in my entire Skyblock career. I hope I don't get banned for this. Yeah! Bro just doubled his net worth, let's go. Also, please don't give away your valuable items that easily. You could get scammed, just always ask for something in exchange. I know this guy IRL, otherwise I wouldn't do this. I mean, if you decided to keep my Hyperion, he'd be the one screwed because I know where he lives. I know where his family lives, and I shouldn't execute this any further. Floor 2. The recording of this run perfectly captured my experience of playing dungeons. Hello? I can't kill it. It's bugged. Oh, more zombies. Oh, they're also bugged. Oh, okay, unlucky. A skeleton, oh, also bugged. Okay, great. They really gotta fix this game. Like, that happens every... What? I never got this baited in my entire life. This is where the journey ends for you adventurers. The last few who tried fighting me are now in those crypts. This guy is crazy. Turning players into zombies, that's a little concerning, isn't it?
Wait, this is not what I signed up for.
Jeff, you don't have a choice. I own you. This fight also has 2 phases. Players must defeat Scarf's undeads. Yeah, that's a straightforward summary of this part. The second phase is about the same, except that Scarf joins the fight and the undead get a bit stronger. We didn't even have to fight the undead though, because we just blew up Scarf and the battle was over. Okay, Catacombs 5, that should be enough for the next floor. Floor 3 is where we go straight to the boss fight, because I don't want this video to become a death compilation. The game plan for this battle is simple. Take down his overfed fish pets to get his attention, then fight him until he unleashes his true form, where he uses with the fish becoming some sort of merman, monster-ish creature. I don't know what sort of magic this is. Unfortunately, this run didn't get me to Catacombs level 9, which is required to enter floor 4. So we did another run where I spent over 2 minutes fighting a single zombie. What? Why? I was so close! After watching the boss die one more time, we finally could enter floor 4. This floor in particular is hated for its super annoying boss fight, which requires the player to hit a moving target with a bow. But don't worry, you can just use this cheap item to stun the boss, making it impossible to miss. While fun keeps yapping, let me quickly explain how to take him down. You get trapped in this giant arena where you have to face off against ferocious animals. Killing a certain number of them will summon the spirit beer. Nuke him, pick up the bow and shoot Thorn. You then have to repeat this 3 more times to kill the spirit. Now that Thorn perished in a delightful way, we only had 3 more bosses to defeat. However, there's one issue with Livid, the next boss. I messed up the recording. You see, after defeating Thorn multiple times and reaching Catacombs level 14 to access floor 5, we took a break and I paused the recording to save up some storage space. But when we started playing again, my monkey brain forgot to hit that play button. So instead, I'll give you a summary of the fight in Paint. Yes, Paint, because I'm a professional. Let's start with the setting. Speed this up in the editing process. Okay, we entered the arena and found this one guy levitating mid-air. He said something like, "Welcome. I was already awaiting you. I am Livid, the master of shadows." Wait, isn't that the title of Silence? "No longer shall you disrupt the balance of the catacombs." Then Livid used double team to create multiple clones of himself. Normally you win by targeting the real Livid and killing him, but what we did was... Oh no. Normally when I find this room I just run past it and pretend like I didn't see it, but the boys are already doing 95% of the work, so I gotta do at least something. Flow, 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 flow. Yes, I did it. Yes! After nearly 9 minutes clear, we arrived in the boss room. The big boy of floor 6 is called Sadan, the Necromancer Lord. He commands an army of terracottas, golems and giants. Killing all of them will cause Sadan to get tilted and attack the players. Okay, I'm like 99, no, 100. I'm 100% sure that there's a barrier block somewhere in this room, but... where? There you go, Sadan. May you perish in a delightful way. Just like Thorn and Livid, we had to fight this boss multiple times, since one completion isn't enough to get me from Catacombs level 19 to 24, which is required for floor 7. I eventually figured out I could survive the boss fight by teleporting against the roof. A couple of runs later, I reached dungeon level 24, which allowed me to enter floor 7. Okay, I'm maybe 10 minutes away from using my Hyperion. But I didn't come here unprepared. I was completely useless and also dead for about 90% of the run, but my teammates managed to defeat the Watcher and enter the portal to the final and most difficult boss fight of the Catacombs. This floor features 4 different bosses known as the Wither Lords. Starting with Maxor, we had to secure 2 energy crystals to charge up a laser. I got obliterated by a bunch of Wither minions, but luckily my team was strong enough to beat him without me. Storm was next to die as my teammates crushed the poor Wither under a giant pillar, leading to major injuries and causing him to... I don't know, this looks really painful. The next phase involves parkour and completing minigames, or terminals as the game calls them. But I'm not calling them that because the name is way too fancy for what it actually is. I think my Wi-Fi is gone. Yep, it definitely crashed. So we had to do the entire floor again, but this time we actually got to complete it. In other words, I can finally press right click with this iron sword. Okay, outro time. If you enjoyed this creation of mine, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you want to support the channel. Anyways, Farting Lizard, your turn.